Hi, my name is Mike Gardner, and welcome to a special roundtable discussion with head coaches Mike Brennan and Megan Gebbia and Director of Athletics Dr. Billy Walker. So being a head coach has to be slightly different than an assistant. I guess to the average fan, what is sort of the big differences from being an assistant to a head coach?
Well, there's many. I would say the managing people, I think, is different just because, as an assistant, you're pretty much responsible for yourself and doing your work and everything. So that, I think, for me, delegating a lot of things because, as an assistant, you're used to, having tasks at hand and actually completing tasks. I think as a head coach, there's so many extraneous things that you have to do throughout the day that you never feel like you get anything done, per se. So that was difficult. And then just the decision-making part of everything, every day. When you go home, you don't want to think about what you have to eat or what you want to make. You just, it's just that the decisions in games, the decisions in practice. Coach, can you sign this? Coach, what do you want to do about that? And a lot of things I'm not really that particular about. So I think my staff kind of had to get used to me a little bit and the things that I deem important and the things that, I'll let them make some decisions with.
Coach Brennan, is it basically basketball 24/7?
No, it is. It definitely is. But like Megan mentioned, having great assistants is so important. And, I'm really lucky to have the guys on staff that we have. I've become an expert delegator.
I need some tips. You need to help me out.
But no, I mean, and like Megan said too, you're the ultimate decision maker. So we talked about recruiting earlier. Just as an assistant, you're just trying to bring names to the table, but as the head coach, you sort of have to make that final decision. And it's like that with whether it's the little things or the big things. Scheduling who you're going to play and who you're going to put on the court, who's starting. All these things are always sort of things that you're thinking about constantly. So having great help is important, and because obviously these decisions are important. So. Lucky to have the assistants that I do.
Just I was asking both of you, how is recruiting going? Coach Brennan, you want to start us off?
Yeah, no, it's going well. I mean, it never really ends. So we just got a couple commitments to transfers coming for next fall. So we're excited about that. But it's always, recruiting never ends, really. It's a year-round process.
Is it true, Coach Gebbia? Never stops, never ends?
Yes, it's the lifeline for your program. So we're pretty excited about our 4 freshmen coming in, and we're still working on a transfer as well. So all kids that I think have great work ethic and are competitive and hopefully will help us right away.
What's the best part for both of you about recruiting, if there is one, if it's not like pulling teeth?
Like our favorite part or the best part?
Right, I guess the favorite part.
Let's see.
Landing a recruit.
Yeah.
Getting
Them
the
saying
commitment is probably the only good part.
Yeah. I mean, it's time consuming. It's a lot. Maybe as a head coach, it's changed a little bit for me just because as assistants, we're always on the phone with the recruits. Not that you aren't as a head coach, but I just feel like you do more of the background work with them, where here you're on the phone trying to really sell the program to them. So it has changed a little.
How different is it from assistant to head coach? More laid back for you guys, sort of sit back and watch everything unfold, or are you still at the front lines trying to convince people to join
Well,
the
I think,
program?
like Megan said, as an assistant, you're doing most of the background work, the legwork, so you're just trying to bring, prospects to the table, so to speak. As the head coach, you really are, saying, do I really want this person to be part of the program? So you're not doing as much on the phone or just constantly talking, but you're thinking about it constantly, and just hopefully we make the right decisions. But having good assistants is important.
Dr. Walker, if you were head coach, how would you approach recruiting?
I was an assistant coach, and that's why I'm not a head coach. The recruiting was not my most favorite. No, same way. I mean, you got to. I think the key is, and both these coaches are great at it, and their staff. You identify the kind of kid that is going to fit your program and fit what you do, and be realistic about who you're going to get. Sometimes you may take some chances on certain kids, but you want to invest tons of time and energy in kids you're not going to get anyway, or kids that are going to come to your school and not be successful or not be eligible. So, that's part of it right there, is just making sure that you target the right kids that are going to be the right fit, and you're not necessarily always going, not always going for the best kid, but you're going for the right kid.
So both of you guys, who is the ideal player that fits perfectly into your system?
Someone who can shoot, pass, and dribble, and get a rebound.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah. But I think what Mr. Walker just said, just the right fit is the most important thing. I mean, you see kids transferring constantly, and that's part of it. So making sure that, it's the right fit both ways. Recruiting, you're not just trying to attract the kid and allure them. You're trying to find a balance. Is it a good fit for them? Is it a good fit for you? Do you get along? Are they going to sort of adapt to how you coach, how you communicate? I think when we bring kids on visits, when they talk to the guys that are here on the team already, that's where they sort of get the real answers of, okay, is this the right place, the right fit for me? So that's important for us is on the visit.
I would say ditto to him as far as shoot, pass, and dribble. Kids that can score, just kids that fit your style and your system. And I think our systems aren't exactly the same, but I think they're somewhat similar in that it's a team offensive game and defensive game. And he did a great job this year on the defensive end, especially just watching his team play. I mean, they got stops when they needed to get stops, and I admire that, and we try to do the same thing. So just getting the right fit. The kid that's going to be successful here academically, I think, is really important for us. And I think for women's basketball, I'm assuming men's is the same, but that's what really attracts a lot of good academic kids and basketball players, is you need kids that can pass the classes and still perform on the court and not have to worry about them, when they're not doing those two things. So.
Stay tuned to hear more from Dr. Walker, Coach Brennan, and Coach Gebbia here on Eye on the Eagles.